We're cooling steam again to the point where we're creating ice once more. So we're having too much of a variation in temperature from the steam coming in. So what I think I need to do is actually shut this down for a little bit. And I am going to do that now. So I'm wasting a hell of a lot. I'm making ice once more. While I manipulate this, let's go to the wire overlay. And then let's cut the wires again. I hope they do that quickly. So let's see, we will have like 9. Yeah, we got rid of 100 kilogram of steam. Feels bad, but this is going to happen. I have to get this filter up here quicker. I have to get the steam out before it goes into the next batch of thermoregulators. We don't need that many thermoregulators. Dirt to coal, then dirt to coal. Dirt's renewable, so that's free coal technically then, because dirt's forever renewable. Alright, so what I gotta do is probably destroy all those thermoregulators, move them down one layer, and put my gas filter here, and then send steam straight into this room, and then continue to send contaminated oxygen through these. That contaminated oxygen is actually at negative 63. That's pretty close, with all these thermoregulators still to go. But what needs to happen is this needs to get bumped down. I think an entire layer would be enough. Let's try it. I know we've revamped this quite a few times. That's just going to be the nature of things. No. Only get rid of the buildings. I don't know if there's any wires in there. Alright, get to work, peoples. Remember, these are science streams. We do science shit. Take it easy, Unk. Have a good one, bud. Morbs make chlorine into... Make gas into chlorine? Morbs take chlorine to make contaminated oxygen, yes. Maybe 8 thermoregulators and it shouldn't get cold. I have 2 to the south that they already come through. There are already 8 thermoregulators. What I've done is I've turned off the bottom layer before and only used these 6. I have 2 down here that the steam runs through as well. The thing is, the steam is just getting ridiculously cool. Here, let's turn that off too. The steam's getting ridiculously cool and it's turning into ice. And I've had it where those 8 were actually not enough at times. Here's the thing that no one's understanding. The temperature is varying here. I'm having steam sometimes come through at only like 250 degrees. Sometimes I'm having it come through at like 500 degrees. It depends on the temperature of the tile that it's next to. So there's a huge fluctuation in temperature. So it's very hard to get that middle ground. How you doing, Despair? What's up, buddy? So there's a lot of like, I've got to keep changing things to try to find that happy medium. And I'm obviously still trying to figure out my happy medium. Alright, kill all the gas pipes in the morning too. We still have plenty of water to hang out or hold on to. And again, if I need to, I'll set up a water filter and I'll just start sucking up all this contaminated water and turn it into normal water. That's why it's there. That is why it is there. 18 stress. K-Dog, you take care of that stress in the morning, dude. You stop being stressed, man. There should be like tons, yeah. These are all backed up and ready to go whenever the system's up. Yeah, destroy that shit. Get things done. You goobers. Yep, there you're gonna fall down. Oh. I like science. I really can't wait for the next patch. I really can't wait for the next update, all that content and shit. The Steam geysers really have me intrigued. I still think that's gonna be super cool. Hey, break that tile. Okay, you guys can come down here now. So what I'm thinking is once it goes through that first layer of thermoregs, that we put down a filter or something. Get your dudes back up here so you can continue to work. Yeah, it should be good enough. Your stream keeps lagging. I'm sorry, Panini. Panini, fix the potato internet. MaxiPad, let's nip that stress in the bud. Battery power hanging strong. Cool. How's the water? Is it backed up yet? No. We found a good medium with water limitations. Good. When's the next build coming? March 15th, I think, for like the beta, which I guess they're going to be doing like a Don't Starve beta sort of setup, which I hope they do. That'd be cool. Which is funny because it's a beta and an alpha. I think they should just send the damn updates through, but they do it probably for stability reasons. Okay, so we're going to immediately take that input, and we're going to do what with it? if I do it like that, don't I still need more space? Because we're going to have to take steam and take it over here. Yeah, I think I need a whole extra thing of space. And this would free up room for potential extra filters if I needed it. What about tiered cooling? Like, cool it with 2 and either expel liquid or gas, then pump out and repeat. You mean like, that'd be multiple rooms. That'd be a very elaborate setup. I think I know what you mean, but I don't know how, or not necessary, but how needed that'd be? I don't know. I do not know. No, I gotta get rid of that. So, let's send you here. Send that there. I want this deconstructed. And then steam would go back here. So I have to get rid of that tile. So what this does is this is going to take steam, send it to the filter, then I'll send steam back up here into the room, and then I can take contaminated oxygen and go over here to a whole other row of thermoregulators, right? I think that accomplishes the goal. And then that also means I can get rid of the gas pipes here. Heinous acts of science, you guys. Yeah, there's gas bridges. I know. I could make use of those, but I have space here. It's okay. So we'll let them run and get that done. Come on. Stress. K-Dog, you should be on... K-Dog, sit the fuck down. Take care of that stress, you dingle. Bastard. Trying to cause a problem. Nope. No. You bastards get to work. I don't pay you near enough to slack like this. So that sends steam back to where the steam needs to go. There's some contaminated oxygen in there, but that's because we're dilly-dallying here. I don't trust gas bridges. Yeah, I really don't trust gas bridges either. I barely trust the gas filters either myself. So we'll go down a layer, and this will be the next row of thermoregs. So what this is doing is it's taking all steam through the thermoregs, cooling it off, hopefully to the point that it's cool enough. If it's not cool enough, I may just add an extra thermoreg at the bottom. And then it's taking extra and sending it through more thermoregulators that it's going to hopefully just be for contaminated oxygen. And then that contaminated oxygen will hopefully become cool enough that I can slowly, because you don't really get that much, drip it into my base. And I'll probably do it at like the top so that it's super hot up here. It'll cool off the top. And then I might even make like a mesh tile in the corner and then drop it at the top of the base and have it fall all the way down. And as it falls down, I would guess that it would heat up. This is all speculation. All speculation. And well, let's give them a moment to lay down that pipe. And then I have to delete the stuff from my extra thermoregulators, which I don't think I can get rid of this yet, unless he jumps on. Will you jump on that ladder? No. What do you think of this new space DLC for DS? I think it's good DLC, man. Okay, should be clear to delete these. Who? You all stink. You stink, Moon. Get the fuck out of here. How's the CO2? Hey. Make contaminated oxygen, you bums. Do stuff. Yeah, I saw that. I saw he farted. Living off of shit gas. And then... No. Utilities, thermoregulators. God, it's gonna get super hot in here as soon as I put these thermoregulators down. I hate that. Just let it sit at the top and warm up. Lest you kill any plants. I mean, my plants are already nice and cool. I already pump things through thermoregulators. If I need to, I can take the thermoregulators out of my base and rely on the cool air that we're producing. The thing is, it has to warm up. If it doesn't warm up quick enough, it'll freeze. Or if it gets, well, of course, if it gets too low. But I want to make sure it gets to the correct temperature. 45 decor requirement, that's a demanding new recruit. Yeah, screw him. He ain't coming to the base. Alright, wait about that life. Okay. I truly don't think that's going to be enough thermoregulators for contaminated oxygen, but I have to test the first wave. You bastards. They're all off 1, of course, because I had to lower the whole thing down 1. That's dirty. That's dirty. That doesn't need that. I think that was for the cold generator in the past. We can delete that too. That should be all backed up with 10 kilograms. Yeah, 10 kilograms. Try using the top of the map to cool stuff. I have not. Not yet. I haven't sent anybody on like a digging excursion at the bottom or at the top yet. That means all the liquid's gonna fall down over my base, which should be good because everything's covered up. I might do that soon. Absolute zero. It doesn't have to reach absolute zero. It has to get to negative 297 degrees Fahrenheit. Absolute zero is like negative 457. Negative 457. Yep. Negative 457.87. Food's doing great. Awesome. We'll back up with liquids. All this stuff is good. Filter, again, steam. Priorities on these. Like, wow, they're getting this stuff done at a priority 6. That's surprising. Or 5. That quote's true. Right near the tritium while blocking off the wall of the way is negative 80 Celsius. Wouldn't that temperature eventually change? Kind of like the neutronium here. I know, here's the thing. The neutronium doesn't have thermal conductivity. So it doesn't emit that cold temperature. Kind of like abyssalite. So, as it stands, this is all going through all this shit, and then here's the output. I'm going to test it, like, very temporarily and probably disable the shit almost immediately. Oh, did you not get power? I don't think you got power. So, I will send this to a vent, and I don't think it's going to be cold enough. But I'm testing it all down here, not pumping it into the base or anything stupid like that. I just want to see if this gets cold enough. If it doesn't get cold enough, we immediately just delete the gas vent. So get everything built. Everything's powered. All I have to do is connect the wire up here. And yes, I totally put a power switch here at this point with as much manipulation as I have done to the setup. I think it is warranted. And I think I can get rid of the wire here, and that'll work. Right? That should be good. I think you'll need a gas valve? I shouldn't. There's nothing here that has any limitation. It's the pipes do 10 kilograms. And everything's just going to get output. Okay. What are we doing here? Oh. Apparently you didn't get power. So it's just filling up the other thermoregulators. Yeah, oops. You need some juice. Give me some juice. Come on. Fix it! Fix it! Go, 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 go! Go! Let's monitor the temperatures. I hate when they deliver, but they don't build. It drives me nuts. They deliver a little bit, but they don't deliver enough. Or they deliver enough, but then they go do another task instead of building, and then somebody else comes and builds. Okay, so this is at negative 63. This needs to get to negative 297. I don't think this many thermoregulators is going to take care of it. Negative 88, 114, 139, 167, 164. It's getting close, but it's not close enough. Negative 214. So I definitely need a few more thermoregulators, but what I need to do now is absolutely prioritize destroying that. Otherwise, you're going to see I'm adding some super cold air here. There you go, guys. You ever wanted to cool your base down, just run it through a few thermoregulators. No. Everybody's stress is okay. That I'm not going to worry about this. I want to shut this motherfucker down. We're wasting gas. Thank you. You all can go back to bed now. so it'll back up here in a second. And we'll even just turn this off. Little bastards always try to go to sleep at the worst times. I'm not having that. Who's stressed? Ace, Lynn, and Luna. Luna, Lynn, and Ace. There you go, guys. All de-stressed, ready to go. Pressurization still doing okay. I think it's getting a little bit worse. I don't know why, to be honest with you, because everything seems to have power. I'll make me turn that extra electrolyzer on. I'll do it. We are trying to freeze contaminated air to liquid I2? Yes. That is the current plan. I've done it before, and I didn't think this would be enough thermoregulators, and that basically confirmed it. So it comes out like negative 200 something or another. It's not close enough yet. How many more do I want to add? Because I don't really need to hit absolute 0, and I don't need to hit a ridiculous amount of cool. And I also wouldn't mind pumping it into a room where it can liquefy. And then where it liquefied, I pump the liquid, not the gas, into my base. Because once it goes into my base, the liquid should then get warm enough. Because there's heat. Well, yeah, I don't know. See, here's the thing. How much do I want to... Look how cold it got. It's awesome. It's below freezing in here. In some places. So, where do I want to dump my liquid O2? Do I want to put it in its own little room with a pump, like a liquid pump, and then take that liquid pump and send it somewhere with a liquid vent? Like, because it has to warm up, remember. Yeah, you can pump cold air in there, but the whole point of the thermoregulators was to keep it cold enough that when it went in, it immediately just turned into liquid. That's the idea behind it. Oh, 16, 18 thermos depending on starting point. Do solids never melt? Solids never melt in this current build, but they said in the next build it will, which is awesome. Look at my Tuesday. Volx was doing you guys like Smexy times. I have no idea what we're talking about, Tumble Trash. Why not loop back to the filter? I could. You're not wrong. That would actually be a decent idea. Let's think. So output here, input there, and then but here's the one problem. If I loop it forever, it will never leave. See, what I've done in the past is with a single thermoregulator with a gas filter, I have made one single thermoregulator get me liquid O2 because you just run it through a few times. But then you always have to manually tell the filter, like, do something different to release that gas. If I just sent the input here, the contaminated O2 would just keep looping infinitely. It would never stop. It would use the same amount of thermoregulators to cool things off, which would be power efficient. How you doing, Star? It's good to see you. It'd be power efficient, but how would I get it out? Goob with the auto host, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it, man. I'm trying to think though, like, how does that? See, if I put more there, I automate it. If I don't, then I don't, and it's not automated. I want it to be automated. It'd be a little less efficient. Well, the thing is, you can't. If you use two filters, you still have to toggle the filter. If you tell it to take contaminated oxygen and send it back through the loop, it'll always send contaminated O2 back. It'll never take liquid. I'm like air quoting here. It'll never take liquid O2 because there's no liquid O2 or even if you set the oxygen, it won't consider it oxygen until it comes out of the pipe. Why don't you move those two thermoregulators from the bottom up? That should be enough for you to run the O2 through it. I could, but the thing is, those are cooling the steam down to the point where it should be cool enough to go through the system. But yes, that would be free if I brought them up here. It's not a bad idea. If I did bring it up here, though, what I would have to do is push these walls out, move the filters over. You could drop the liquid O2 in a sealed room, battery room, with a thermos for freezing it, and pipe. Or the thermos for freezing it? I don't want to freeze it, though. I need to cool it. Drop the liquid O2 in a sealed... I'm trying to get to the point of liquid O2 first, into a sealed room, battery room, with a thermos for freezing it, and then pipe the gas away. The batteries could get it too warm, though, and I don't want to introduce warm O2 into the base. I do not want to introduce warm O2 into the base. Well, if I get rid of those, and I just directly pipe this up, I'll do that. Can those. What about the power lines? Power lines should be good. Okay, so that's getting two thermoregulators off the grid. Give me my game back. I unpaused forever ago. With all this stuff going on, the game sometimes takes forever to pause and unpause. Just like recalculate shit. We'll can these. And then put my two thermoregulators back up here. I love how long it's going to take for that temperature to normalize. Yeah, I can't pump it into the base. That'd be too cold. Can you reach that tile? You should be able to reach that tile. Are you not going to be able to reach that tile because you can't stand on that one ladder? You bastard. That might get you to where you need to go. I hope. Okay, so we're going to have to move this stuff again just a little bit. Not all of it, but 2 of them. That'll get the contaminated oxygen probably to 250, 260. Still not cold enough. How do you maintain pressure so well? With... You son of a bitch, why did you break that tile? With relatively efficient base design, so they only keep this area pressurized. It's the only area that needs to be pressurized. Yay, they broke it. Thank you. Get out of that overlay. So, 2 thermoregulators. Kill it! Kill it! Kill that ladder! Kill the ladder! Send the contaminated O2 into a room with an air pump and a water pump. If the gas is too hot, the pump will send the gas into a single cooler. Send it back? I'm not sure what you mean. When the O2 is water or liquid, send to another room from a gas pump. Too much thinking. I just need to send this back into the filter. But they need to deconstruct that and I'll have to rebuild it. Yeah, keep building. You don't need to sleep. However, Moist Napkin and Maxi Pad are very stressed. Moist Napkin, Maxi Pad, and was it Vivi? That was B-Sip. Take care of your stress too. What is this? Spores disease? One of the dupes has it. If you go into the contaminated oxygen, you have a chance of getting the spores, and you have a chance of getting trench stench. Spores is a disease that I think just causes stress right now. I don't remember if it emits contaminated oxygen. I know trench stench does. I don't see anybody who currently has it. I'll have to read it again. It's become such a oh, hold on. It's become such a minor annoyance. Walking fungal pod, infected by standing in a toxic area. Remedies none, duration 1.1 cycles. I don't know if it emits contaminated oxygen, but I know that it affects their stress. Okay, can I put this down now? Yeah. So right in the no. What are you bastards doing? Cancel. Right into the input. And now we actually have another problem here. I don't know if you can see this, but this is going into the input, but it's also there's also a pipe connected to the filter thing. That'd actually fuck up your setup here. So I'm gonna have to delete a few of these pipes and rebuild them. On your tablet, typing sucks. Welcome back, Dreams. Yes, typing on mobile is awful. I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. That should fix it. That ought to fix it. So that introduces 2 new thermoregulators for the contaminated tube, but it's not going to change the amount of thermoregulators that are set up for the steam, because I just relocated those 2. I'm hoping that's still enough for the steam. If it's not, we're going to have to change it. Can somebody... You can't reach that, can you? Even if you go through that door, I don't think you're going to be able to reach that. Through that ladder? Oh no, you can reach it. Good job. Good job, Luna the bodybuilder. She's buff as fuck. She can do it. So that introduces 2 thermoregulators to the contaminated O2, but I still don't think it's enough. 1 or 2 thermoregulators more should be plenty to get the contaminated O2. No, Panini! And hey, the temperature's normalizing. No, Panini, I'm sorry. Sorry that your internet sucks. Feels bad, man. Oh, you have a good one, Panini. I appreciate you stopping by the stream. I don't know if you can hear me, though. Feels even worse, man. Feels worse, man. Oh, we're gonna go with 2 for the lulz. Alrighty, Panini. Take it easy. I'm sorry. Potato internet feels bad. I fucking hate potato internet. I think this is going to get my contaminated oxygen cold enough now. No, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? What am I doing here? Why would I do it that way? I don't know if you noticed what I did, but I made my pipes in the past have gone up and over, up and over, and up and over. It's the same with this. These are up and over, but then these are over then up. I'll keep some things constant. Triggered. But I I think that's going to get my contaminated O2 cold enough. I don't see a toilet and shower. You don't need one. Showers actually are essentially useless, and we have the crappy outhouses over here, no pun intended, and it's free contaminated O2. Watching this on a 65-inch 4K TV makes it easy to see everything. I guess you're getting upscale because I'm actually streaming at 1080p, but then downscaling to 720p because of streaming, and then upscaling it to 4K. That's some serious upscaling there. Nearly set off all the OCD receptors, lol. So where do we dump the contaminated O2, which should be liquid O2? It should say I deposit liquid O2 here, and then I set up a catch for it. I'll have to get rid of those ladders. We'll obviously wall these off. Oh, no. This all has to be sandstone because I want it to be cold. So sandstone. And we'll close that up. That should be good. I still need to lay the power lines down. What am I doing? There you go. More power. And I'll cancel those so that they can still fit in that room. They might not be able to reach those unless I leave that alone. Okay. Still using sandstone? Still using sandstone. So say I, like, close it up something like that. Liquid O2. You know what I ought to do? I ought to deconstruct that, get rid of that, bring this up an extra layer. That way the pump is in like a bottom, so like no matter how much gets in here, it's always kind of encouraging the liquid to flow bottom left. And I could even put an air pump in there if I ever wanted to, and then I could pump out any oxygen that for some reason finds its way in there. But if it liquefies, it should basically be pumped out right away. So what I have set up now should be a way to liquefy contaminated O2. Where do I send it? Where do I send it? I'll keep that one canceled so that they can always kind of like go in that room to build. Where do I pump it to? It's got to get kind of warm, but not like ridiculously warm. I don't know how much heat a single battery will make. Like the battery tells me 260 Fahrenheit. I do not want 260 degrees Fahrenheit being pumped into the base. That is absurd. That is way too hot. But I don't want it to be negative 300 degrees when it goes into the base. That is problematic. That is absolutely a bad thing. So many decisions. So many decisions. And you know what? So nobody builds themselves in, does something stupid. Here's a ladder. You guys all stink. Go bye-bye. Use battery banks to boil the water to make steam. Oh, I know you can use battery banks to do that. The problem is it's not very fast compared to the whole lava thing. It's more controlled though because you don't have temperature extremes, but yeah, it's not as fast. Usually run it over batteries. Liquid O2 is so cold that it actually cools off the batteries. Any idea how many batteries? Any idea how many batteries? Because I could leave the system here, pump it into a room with batteries, and then deliver it to base. I'm trying to keep this all away from the main part of base. That's why this is all down here and all insulated and whatnot. Speaking of that, I want that to be insulated. So much complicated right now. So much complicated. So much thinking. Can you deconstruct that so I can slap this pump down? The noise is triggering me! Get to work! K-Dog and Luna. Stop being stressed, Luna. Get rid of your spores. Luna and K-Dog. Maybe one layer of your batteries would be good enough. What do you mean one layer? Didn't have quite as many batteries as you used, or probably less than you're using. Now see, I'm thinking of putting batteries down here instead of pumping batteries up top to the base. Or pumping it all the way up top and then having to remove it. Well, what you're doing is what you're saying to send liquid O2 into this room and then just leave batteries on the floor to convert it into gas and then take a gas pump and then pump the gas out? Is that what you're saying? Because I feel like if I just put liquid O2 in here, put a battery down, that I would end up sucking the O2 out quicker. I would suck it out too fast to the point where it wouldn't have a chance to warm up. What's going on down here with the steam? There's still a shitload of it, and yep, this setup is still gonna work, even though we removed those 2 thermoregs. And I pumped a liquid O2 over the batteries in a different place. So we could have a reservoir of liquid O2. And we can pump it, like drip it over batteries. And then... So I'm still gonna put this pump here. Liquid pipe. Sure. Still gotta keep plumbed up with power too. Ah, what am I doing? Get rid of liquid pipes. Want to be hidden, whatever, I'll do that. Yeah, mix water and batteries, no one gets electrocuted anyway. Yeah, logic, right? Totes flawless logic. And then I could put, if you get rid of this ladder, a liquid vent down. And drip it over a couple batteries. Now what I'm thinking... wrong tab here. Reese's Puff with the 20 gray gems there, man. My free bit ads are acting up, so here's the rest of my bits. Thank you, buddy, for the bits. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the gray gems, dude. So... I put my insulated tiles here, put a few batteries there, and I drip them over the batteries, and then maybe all the way over here I have an air pump to give it time to come over here, kind of warm up, and then go up. But then I still feel like it might end up getting too cold. So bridging a battery does deactivate it. Yes, there shouldn't be that much liquid O2 that it'll actually like clog up the system. I don't think we're going to produce that much. I wouldn't think so anyway. Food still doing well? Food's doing well. Just to make sure, I'm going to re-select all the food and set it to priority 9 because it like resets after a couple harvests. Gonna go look for non-art reasons. Take it easy, Carbon. Enjoy your lurk, dude. Of course, here I am adding more and more power. My power grid! My power grid! Fucking power grids, man. Too much power. I'm a power whore. Confirmed. How do you want to handle the battery setup? Well, the batteries would... So what I'm wondering is, like, do I want to put gas permeable? And then, like, the liquid O2 would be stuck up here, then the batteries would heat it up, and then the gas... Well, the gas would always be forced up because of the liquid, so that really wouldn't work. What if you pump it through the liquid O2, through the thermoregulator room, that heat it up? Well, you'd have to drip it in there. You can't send it in there through, like, a pipe. It like, doesn't transfer heat as well. Like, you'd have to, like, legitimately put a liquid vent in there. And then you'd have to get a pump in there to get it out. A gas pump, which there's really no room. And it doesn't hurt that any batteries. The batteries are just an extra bank of power. I think a 1x1 square can hold 20 kilograms of gas, while a 1x1 can hold 1,000 kilograms of liquid. Interesting. I don't know. Drip it over the radiators instead. Do you mean the thermoregulators? Again, the thing is, I'd have to be able to get a gas pump in there to get that out. I have to get a gas pump in this room. I could. Hold on. Hold on. I just maybe mildly thought of something. Well, no. See, what if I took the... Okay, if I took the liquid O2 and I threw it into this room, it'd be really fucking cold. And then the steam and the liquid O2 would interact. The steam would heat up the liquid O2. The liquid O2 would then become oxygen. I could put a gas pump in this room to suck the oxygen out, but the thing I would worry about is the steam coming out. And then I guess I need another filter system. Look too tired from now. I'm gonna take care of the dupes while I'm gone. Take it easy, Pato. Have a good one, dude. Enjoy your sleep, man. All this thinking. I didn't sign up for this. You're going to freeze the water? Yeah, I think I'd freeze the water. I think it might be way too cold because we're going from like 200. We're comparing like 200 degrees to negative 300 something. It'd overwhelm. So if I just put a shit ton of batteries in here, is that good enough? Replace the ceiling tiles of the battery room you're building with normal, not insulated ones. So the heat from the thermoregs will go down. Could do that. Kind of makes sense. Let's see. Obsidian, igneous rock. Let's use igneous rock. It'll be nice and toasty. It'll be a nice and toasty tile. Let's roll with that. Also, who's stressed? Moist, anal, and not K-Dog, so it's just moist anal. Oh, baby. I mean, that's how you have to make anal work, right? Got to be pretty moist. How's the pressure? Feels like it could be better. I don't know why the pressure's actually so low. I think it's because I have them opening so many doors that they're still I think they might still destroy the gas. I don't think that's been 100% fixed. I don't think that's been 100% remedied yet. How's the water, by the way? Still okay. That's 103 degrees Fahrenheit. That should heat up pretty quick, though. So, can that, would you? I'm glad I was able to catch the stream a little late, but how you doing, musics? We're doing all kinds of science stuff. Someone quote that. I think Lynn is, like, pseudo-sleeping right now. But, that was pretty good. What's he doing with all that cooling fan? That is cooling my steam to make water, and it's also going to hopefully cool my liquid, my contaminated oxygen to make liquid O2. That's the current plan right now. Anyway, let me go. You really want that to be quoted, don't you? Hey, get to work. The hell do I pay you for? I pay you in life. I'll take it back. I will use you as a morb farm. Don't test me. Came in the stream earlier, left, then returned. Welcome back, Cerebral. Alright. Probably not going to be enough batteries in here, but I don't really expect to be making that much liquid O2, in all honesty. Then I have to pump it out. Aww. Nah, let's cancel this. Delete this. I'll make the room one tile longer. Moist anal? Oh, baby. Well, that's what you need to make him work. Good job, Rhyme. Good job, Rhyme. Don't even know if it's possible to build up gas pressure by pumping liquids in a closed environment. Maybe? Because the gas won't go through the liquid will go to the bottom. And theoretically, that would take up more tile space, and the gas would be restricted to less tile space? Maybe? Maybe that'd work. It's quote edit, Rhyme. Quote edit. If we need to add more batteries, we'll add more batteries, I think. Can I say, okay, hold on. You know what? We'll add that because it'll line this up. And what I mean is it'll line like that. I think this system's ready. That system's ready. I just need to toggle the switch. Let's bring all this back down. You guys need another ladder set up to just make sure you can get up there. I want to delete this. Of course, we need some wiring. Boop. Eagle Riot, thank you for that auto host, man. It's appreciated. Aw, I want to hide the wires. That'll turn off my batteries, though. Bitch. Son of a bitch. Unnecessary, but I kind of want to keep my wires hidden. Because it would annoy me to no end if the wires were visible. I hate seeing wires and pipes and pumps and things, like hiding them. Are you trying to make a steam room? I already have a steam room that works, so random. But now what I'm trying to do is incorporate the steam room into my liquid oxygen room. So it's going to cool down steam and contaminated oxygen to make liquid oxygen. Is what I mean to say. Thank you for that auto host Solar Phoenix. I appreciate it. Let's take a look here. Power, plumbed up. Liquids, plumbed up. Pump, okay. As of now, it should cool down contaminated oxygen, drop it off as liquid oxygen here. Take the liquid oxygen out of there, introduce it into the battery room, and now I need a gas pump in here that is... Damn it, the gas pump is top right, isn't it? Fuck! So if I put a gas pump in here, that's not going to work, so I'm going to have to put a gas pump here. But I can't put a gas pump on the lowest tile, because if there's liquid in there, it'll jank the fuck out. So I didn't really want to have to do what I'm about to have to do, but I'm about to have to extend the room out a little bit. I kind of wanted to keep this a bit symmetrical. Damn it! What are insulated wires for? Supposedly you use them in warm environments, but I haven't seen a need for it yet. And then, like, I don't know. It doesn't prevent heat transfer. I don't really know. I don't think I don't think that they fully work yet. Huh. I feel like I'm watching a mad scientist at work. You kind of are. You're not going to get enough liquid O2 to flood the pump. No, the thing is, a pump at the bottom leftmost tile, sucks up gas from there. If there's any ounce of liquid in that tile, no gas will go into that tile. So there's no gas right here. No gas. Next tile, there's gas. Any amount of liquid there will ruin that. Yeah, the high capacity wires, I saw that. Well, kill you. Make sure I kill these things. Damn it. Let's expand the room.